The return of Varuna, the cosmic keeper of Hikita. In the beginning, as described in the Ika Veda, there existed the primordial waters, the limitless expanse of chaos from which all creation emerged. From these waters rose Varuna, the god of the celestial ocean, the guardian of Shota, the eternal order that binds the cosmos. He was the master of the moral law, the one who wove the fabric of the universe, ensuring that everything moved in its rightful rhythm. Seated in his celestial abode, Pushkara Vartaka, surrounded by waters that reflected the stars, Varuna ruled alongside Mitra, his counterpart in overseeing cosmic harmony. His noose, the Pasha, symbolized his power to bind those who strayed from the path of truth. His thousands of eyes, mentioned in the Rig Veda, surveying over the oceans, matched only by his role as the moral arbiter of existence. In the Puranas, Varuna's prominence gradually faded as new deities rose to prominence. Indra became the hero of the Vedic hymns, and Vishnu's avatars captivated the devotion of the people. As humanity's focus shifted, the worship of Varuna diminished. Temples fell into ruin, and the concept of Rita became an abstract memory. Without Varuna's guiding hand, the world began to falter. The Rig Veda warns of what happens when Hita is broken. Rivers run dry, kings become tyrants, and the natural order falls into disarray. And so it came to pass, famine spread, the oceans grew violent, and humanity's suffering echoed through the cosmos. Varuna, seated in his divine palace, watched in silence. The Rig Veda 7.88.6 describes his patience and impartiality, for he does not act in haste, but as the cries of the suffering reached the heavens, the god of Rita stirred. The time had come to remind the world of its forgotten covenant with the divine order. The Matsya Purana tells of how Varuna once manifested to restore balance, and so he did again. Emerging from the vast cosmic ocean, Varuna descended to the earthly realm, his form radiant and his noose gleaming. He chose the guise of a wandering sage, his presence cloaked in humility, yet his every word carried the weight of the Vedic hymns. Varuna first appeared in a coastal village plagued by drought. The people, desperate and faithless, had turned to false gods and corrupt practices. He spoke to them of Hauter, reminding them of the ancient truths found in the Rig Veda 7.49.3, which praises Varuna as the one who makes the waters flow and purifies the soul. When the villagers mocked him, the skies darkened, and rain poured down for the first time in years. The villagers fell to their knees, understanding that this was no mere man. They asked for his forgiveness, and Varuna, embodying divine compassion, blessed them. Word of the mysterious sage spread, reaching the ears of a tyrant king who ruled with cruelty and greed. In his arrogance, the king dismissed the stories, declaring himself above the laws of men and gods. But when Varuna entered his court, the king felt the weight of divine presence. The Vishnu Purana describes how Varuna's noose binds the guilty, and so it was. Without lifting a hand, Varuna ensnared the king in invisible bonds, rendering him powerless. The court trembled as Varuna spoke, his voice resonating like the waves of the ocean. You who have forsaken Hita, who oppress the weak and defile the sacred, must face your karma. Your rule ends here unless you return to Dharma, for no one escapes the eyes of Varuna. The king, paralyzed and humbled, wept and vowed to change his ways. Varuna released him, but his warning echoed. The noose would tighten should he stray again. As Varuna journeyed through the land, he revived the ancient truths of the Vedas. Temples were rebuilt, and hymns to Varuna were once again sung. The Rig Veda 1.25.5 praises Varuna as the upholder of truth and the purifier of sin, and these verses became the foundation of a new era of devotion. Varuna, his task complete, returned to his celestial ocean. The Mahabharata describes how the gods, though unseen, always watch over the world, and so Varuna resumed his eternal vigil. From the heavens he continued to guide the tides, oversee justice, and ensure that Hita remained unbroken. In every ripple of the ocean and every glimmer of the stars, humanity felt his presence. They remembered that Varuna, the ancient and eternal god of the cosmic waters, was always watching, his noose ready to uphold the sacred order.